hello, hello, amigas, and welcome to Amiga Hand Your Shit podcast. Today, we're bringing some fire, laughter, and deep inspiration with a powerhouse guest who's been uplifting our community for decades. This is Ernie G. Ernie's one of the most sought after Latino empowerment comedians in the country. He's not only made audiences laugh on stages across the United States, but he's also transformed hearts and minds through his comedy with cause movement, blending humor, heart, and healing to inspire young people and professionals alike to rise above the circumstances and embrace their greatness. He's been featured on HBO Latino, Comedy Central, and a long list of national platforms. But beyond the spotlight, Ernie has made his mission to empower our youth, our educators, and our leaders with a message of resilience, purpose, and authentic pride in who we are. So get ready, amigas. This episode will make you laugh, reflect, and remind you that joy is one of the most powerful tools we have for transformation. And without further ado, this is Ernie G. Oh my goodness.
That's
We have,
hilarious.
oh my God, none other Ernie G here in the house,
Woo,
here
yeah.
on Amiga Hand Your Shit podcast. Goodness gracious, I'm so excited to have you here, Ernie. I know we were having a conversation about like what's this thing called and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, it's like bitch, handle it, or no, Amiga, handle it.
Either way, handle your stuff, girl. Gosh
Yeah,
darn it, man.
yeah,
If you
handle it.
if you expect anyone else to handle their stuff, you got to handle your stuff first, girl.
That's right. That's right. And you know, when I started this whole process back in 2020, never in my wildest dreams would I think I've interviewed over 200 people. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. And I'm like so grateful that people like you who say yes and people that just they come to me, they're like, "Hey, I know somebody that would be perfect." And I'm like, oh my God. So I feel like all these blessings are just raining and pouring on me. And I'm so grateful for people like you, Ernie G, who
Mhm.
show up to talk to us about empowerment, about how we can, live life in such a resilient way and empower our youth because we have a message to say and you say it so perfectly with joy and laughter. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful you're here, Ernie. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for being here.
Oh, you're
Welcome,
welcome.
welcome, welcome.
No, I'm super excited, and yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, the whole point of everything that I do is to lift and empower, first and foremost, the Latino community, and then anybody else that wants to be inspired. I always say, game recognizes game, girl.
Wow.
So you vibe your tribe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you attract people that are at vibing at your vibration. So I appreciate that I get to be here with those other 200 fabulous people that you've had on here.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. Yes, game recognizes game. So, Ernie, I know you've been on HBO, you've been in Comedy Central, you've been all over. And I want to talk about how this all started. And I know that you're from over here, right? From LA?
Born and crazed in the city of angels.
That's right. That's right. Go Dodgers. So, Ernie, why don't you tell us like how you started this comedy with a cause venture in life? Like, take us back to your childhood. How did this
Yeah.
all start?
Well, I was raised by a single mother in Highland. I was born in Maywood, California, at the old
Woo.
on Florence at the old Mission Hospital, which you discover if you grew up in LA. If you didn't have insurance, you were either born at General Hospital or at Mission Hospital on Florence. I was raised by my single mother. My parents were never married. My dad met my mom salsa dancing, and 9 months later, boom, Ernie G. And I used to be ashamed of that. I wouldn't tell people that. And then I said it on stage one time at a high school, and some cholo came up to me after the show, and he goes, "Hey Holmes, can I talk to you for a second, dog?" And I was like, "What did I say, dude? What did I say?" He said, "No, no, no. Te quiero dar mucho respeto, Holmes. I can't believe you put yourself on blast like that, homie." I'm like, "What do you mean, bro?" He said, "Hey, my parents were never married either, and until I heard you speak just now, My whole life, I thought I was a mistake. But after
Oh,
listening to you, I realized maybe I'm not. I'm like,
right.
bro, God doesn't make mistakes, dude. Your
No.
job is to figure out why you were put on this planet and give your life over to that. He said,
Mm.
mucho respeto. So that's now a big part of my story that I've shared with thousands and thousands of students. But I think I kind of skipped ahead a little bit. The point is, I was raised by my single mother. She wanted me to get the best education. My mom thought that if I got a good education, I could like rise above all the ugly stereotypes that
Yeah.
she had to deal with. And so I went to Catholic everything, Catholic grammar school, Catholic high school, Loyola Marymount University.
Yeah.
But now I only go to church on Christmas, Easter, and when I need things from God. No, I'm just kidding. You know how Catholics do that. You only show
Oh,
up on
you,
Christmas and Easter.
yeah, like I haven't seen you. The priest goes up to you. I haven't seen you in about a year. What happened?
Like that's because I didn't need anything. How about you come and say thank you? How about
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah.
But
Yes, yes, yes.
But the short version of the long story I've been telling for many, many years is I went to Loyola Marymount. I went to St. Francis High School and then Loyola Marymount University. And then I got kicked out of college. First person in my family to go to college to becoming another Latino statistic, a dropout. And it was devastating for me. And when I got kicked out of LMU, all this horrible stuff happened. I came home one day and I turned on the TV and this motivational speaker was on my TV. I don't know where he came from. I don't know how that happened, but I had my mom's old VCR. I was living with some buddies, and this old VHS tape was in there. And it was this guy named Les Brown. And he's
Oh,
all,
yeah.
it is better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. Hey, and I'm like, who is this dude?
Yes, yeah.
He's saying all these beautiful things into my spirit. He said, life is full of ups and downs. So when life knocks me down, I pray I land on my back. Because if I can look up, I can get up. Hey, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh
yes.
my God. So that guy inspired me to want to get back into college because I was depressed
Mm,
and suicidal thoughts and all kinds of stuff. And the short version of the long story is my tia died, who was the matriarch of our family. And at her funeral, nobody was giving a proper eulogy. And I
mm.
was like, is someone going to say something about my tia? And the priest said, if you feel like saying something, you say something. And I got up in front of all these strangers and my family. I had never public spoken in my life, but I said, Ode to a Rose. Why did my tia die? Why did God take the one angel we still had living on this planet? And long story short, I said, I'm going back to college in her honor. And I said, Tia, I love you. And that was the first time I discovered that I had this gift for gab to move
Yeah,
people with my words. And so I said, I'm going back to school. I worked really hard. I went to a bunch of different colleges, Pasadena City College, Santa Monica City College, made up all the classes that I had messed up at Loyola Marymount, got readmitted for my senior year. And on June 14th, 1994, I walked up onto that stage, got my college degree with my name on it, looked out to the audience, and I said, Mom, Rose, I did it.
oh my God.
And that's a story I've told to hundreds of thousands of students across the country.
Yes, yes. It shows your resiliency and the fact that you took something, such a troubling moment in your life, and you turned it around. Just like Les Brown. He's such a powerful voice.
Yeah.
And I see that in you as well. You know, not staying there stuck, but using it to bring people together and to show that, hey, I mean, for us as si se puede, you can, and
Yeah.
you're a testament to that. So moving people with your words, I love that part that you said about yourself. Okay, so you're moving people with your words. So at what juncture did comedy be a part of this?
Yeah. So when I got kicked out of LMU, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with my life. And I took a life altering transformational seminar called the Landmark Forum.
Mm, yeah.
The Landmark Forum is one of the fundamental earliest forms of transformational work that's out there. Now there's all
Right.
kinds of transformational programs, but it was one of the foundational ones back in the 70s. And in that seminar, I discovered that my life is my responsibility, that we can't control the circumstances, we can't control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to everything that happens to us. And so one of the things I learned was if it is to be, it is up to me.
Mm,
If it is to be, it's up to me. I've had hundreds of thousands of students repeat that phrase. And then also in that seminar, the seminar leader in one of the programs said, if you know in your heart you're a performer and you're not performing, you're robbing the world of who you are. And I was
amen.
like, oh,
Oh, hit
dude.
the heart. What?
Uh, at
What?
that point, I had already gotten back into college, and I had graduated from LMU, and I was going to go get my master's in social work. And then I took that seminar, and I was like, I want to be a comedian. So I quit grad school and started doing comedy, much to the dismay of my family, who was like, "You got kicked out, then you worked hard and got back in, then you graduated, and now you're leaving grad school to do jokes."
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I ever got a TV show. I was on like hundreds of comedians auditioned for Comedy Central's Make Me Laugh.
Yeah.
And of the 60, 70 Latino comedians that auditioned, only three of us got it. Fluffy didn't get it.
Mm.
George Lopez got it. This guy named Carlos Alazraqui, who did the Psst, Yo quiero Taco Bell. He was
Oh,
the
yeah.
that guy. And
Yeah.
Ernie G landed that TV show, and that catapulted me into doing comedy full time. So,
Amazing.
and
Amazing.
yeah,
These programs, Landmark, I did something similar to Landmark. It was called Psy.
yes,
And that to me was transformational for me.
absolutely.
Here I am, I'm a lawyer and practicing law, being very miserable, and then my body was just breaking down. Anyhow,
Wow,
that whole program just catapulted me to what I'm doing today, which
incredible.
is, podcasting, coaching, and all the things. And I'm like, this is what makes me alive. It really does. And
Absolutely.
so I'm like, your story and my story are similar in that respect. Like, hearing God's message, his divine word into your heart and saying, like, hey, stop playing small. And
Exactly.
and when I heard that for me, I was like, what do you mean I'm a lawyer? Like I like argue in front of judges and like this and I but as it turns, it's true. We were playing small.
Yes.
Oh my God. So okay, so that catapulted your career. So tell
Well,
us,
I don't know about catapulted. I mean, I started being able to earn money telling jokes.
okay.
I go blah blah blah. People go ha ha ha, and someone goes ching ching ching.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so and that's when I met Gabriel Iglesias and George Lopez and all these Felipe Esparza, and we were all on this TV show called Que Locos, and Que Locos really catapulted all of our careers to another level. But I remember being asked to speak at a middle school, and they were like, "It has to be clean." Total. I go, I think I have 5, 10 minutes of clean. And I performed at Stevenson's middle school in East LA. And after the show, there was a big long line of students. Mister, can I tell you something? Mister, my mom, beats me up. My dad's on drugs. My dad has other kids from other families. And they just started reporting like deep, dark trauma. And I remember the principal looking at me like with this line of sobbing kids wanting to talk to me. And the principal was like, can you do something with them, please? And I
Yeah.
remember going, I actually can, because I had done so many courses through Landmark at this point.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, I can teach them some amazing coping mechanisms and some beautiful mental health stuff. And she's like, please. So I got these kids in a circle and I just taught some of the basic stuff I knew. And
Mm.
students were sobbing and hugging me and hugging each other. And years later, students send me an email. I'll never forget that mental health workshop you did with us. It changed my life. It changed the way I saw things. And that's when I realized that you and I are bringing gold to people.
Yeah.
People need what transformation provides. And it's not like I have some secret. There's
Yeah.
this wisdom out there that we need access to. And unless people provide the access to the wisdom, we'll keep doing what we've always been doing.
Yeah.
You want to keep on getting what you're getting, keep doing what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
But we have
yeah,
to do
yeah.
something new. And
Right.
thank God transformation was introduced to me early in my life. Yeah.
Wow. And is this when comedy with a cause was developed, or was it just a stepping stone to that?
I was doing comedy and I took a seminar through Landmark called the Breakdown Seminar. How do we handle
Oh,
breakdowns?
yeah, yeah,
And I remember telling everyone, I go, dude, I want to be a comedian, but I also want to make a difference. And I don't know any motivational speakers that are comedians, and I don't know any
right.
comedians that are really that motivational. And so I was like, I want to be like an empowering comedian. And I went, whoa, I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Yeah,
Empowerment comedian. And this was like before Google was like super, out there, but I looked it up, empowerment comedy, and I couldn't find anyone or anything.
yeah,
So I think I invented the phrase empowerment comedian. And I just
yeah,
started saying, that's what I do. I tell jokes, but I inspire kids. And basically, I hadn't developed my routine at this point. I was
yeah,
just doing jokes and a lot of blue jokes and a lot of like gutter jokes just to get laughs.
yeah,
And it took me a few years to get rid of all that stuff and really, with integrity, call myself an empowerment comedian. But when the first time I ever did it publicly was at the National Council de la Raza conference.
Ooh, yes,
It used to be called
yes.
MTLR, now it's Unidos US, and I did it in Austin, Texas, in front of all of these amazing, professional, educated Latinos. And I remember going on stage, going, "Are there any educated Latinos out there?" And everyone's like, "Hello, we're at NCLR." We're like, "What else?" And so I tell my story about getting kicked out of college and working hard to get back into college. And I told a few jokes that day. I collected about 50 business cards from the head of marketing for Adelante for Pepsi, General Mills, Hispanic marketing people. And for the next year, I was flown all over the country to do my empowerment comedy at all these corporate events. And I
Wow.
went from making $50 every time I was performing to making 3,000, 4,000, $5,000 to do my empowerment comedy. And at the time, I did not have an hour's worth of material. I just had a few jokes and a few stories, and I
Yeah.
kind of made it up as I went along. And that started the empowerment comedy career that I now have. And I've been doing it for almost 25 years now.
Oh my God. It really is a testament to you just do it.
Yeah.
Action breeds clarity. You don't need to have everything. I think there's a confusion with people sometimes. It's like they feel like they have to have all their ducks in a row before they take action. And you don't. Actually, just take one action and everything will flow,
Yes.
right?
People ask me all the time, bro, how did you do what you do, bro? I want to get into it. So, do you have like an agent that books you? Like, do you have like a press kit and I'm like, just get out there and start speaking. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, of course. No, no, no. But do you have an agent and do you have a press package? And I'm like, just put your butt in front of a crowd and start doing it. And that
Yeah.
you'll figure it out. If you want to do clean comedy, if you want to speak, go do a bunch of free gigs, offer your services for schools are always looking for free
Yeah.
inspiring people, and just start talking. And one of two things will happen when you get up in front of a stage. The first thing that'll happen is that you're gonna suck and no one's gonna laugh and no one's gonna respond, and you're gonna think to yourself, oh, I'm never doing that again.
Right.
Or the second thing might happen, you're gonna get up on stage and you're gonna suck and no one's gonna listen to you and you're gonna hate it, but in your heart, you're going to go, I know I'm better than that. I must do it again. And if that second thing happens to you, may God have mercy on your soul, because
Hmm.
you have the bug, and
Yeah,
you have to scratch that itch. So a
that's
lot of
right.
people try it and then they quit. But those of us that have tried it and then must continue on, it's because we know that we have a message to give to the world. And if we don't give that message to the world, then we're kind of killing our spirit and our own sense of who we are.
Amen. Yes, that's right. And one of the things, Ernie, that when I met you for the first time with our girlfriend here, Maria, um, and you said something when you took the stage, and I was like, oh my God, that you had a huge breakdown on stage. And I would love for you to talk about that and how you didn't give up. your passion.
Oh, so great. Thank you. So, I've been empowering and inspiring thousands of students all over the country. And then during the pandemic, I'm stuck at home by myself. A beautiful story that I tell that I don't think is the one that you're asking, though,
Yeah.
is that I met my wife. I met a woman during the pandemic. We fell in love. We had a baby, and my baby was 3 months old. And I was. I had waited till I was 50 years old to have a kid. And while I'm like enjoying being a father, they start opening up gigs again. And I went and had a comedy show just down the street from my house. I always like to brag and show off my baby. There's
Oh,
my
how
son
cute.
Joaquin.
Look at them with the little two teeth.
I
Oh.
know, I know. And then there's my wife. We ended up getting married,
Aw.
and she had a son named Cristiano. So Cristiano and Joaquin are my family. But what ended up happening, which is answering your question, is on stage 3 months into my baby's life, I suffered
Mm.
a cardiac arrest on stage. I
Yeah.
suffered a heart attack. And everyone on stage, everyone at the show thought it was a joke because I went, oh, snap. And I keeled over and I had a heart attack, and everyone's like laughing and thinking, when is this guy going to get up? But God sent me angels. I
Mm.
truly believe that when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, whether it's God's work or your own work, if you're being true to yourself, Paulo Coelho in the book The Alchemist says, when we commit, the universe conspires to support our commitments.
Right.
And I just believe that God sent me an angel. I had an ICU nurse from the local hospital who didn't laugh. She got up and did a beeline to me saying, this guy is not, he's not doing well. So she starts doing CPR. A guy that teaches CPR at El Camino College was there on his night off, and he starts doing CPR on me. And then a dude who had just gotten recertified in CPR that worked for the city of Torrance, what this big 300-pound Samoan dude, he goes and he starts doing chest compressions on me. The ambulance arrives. They were unable to revive me. They put me in the gurney. They send me away. And the comedian, they tried 3 times. Clear, chkunk, three unsuccessful defibrillation attempts. They put me in the gurney. They usher me away. The comedian asks the EMT, well, what hospital are you taking him to? And the EMT said, dude, we tried 3 times. This guy's not going to make it. And
Yeah.
supposedly I woke up. Oh, I didn't wake up, but they revived me in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. And then hours later, I woke up and I was stuck in the hospital for 16 days because of the COVID spike. They
Yeah.
didn't want to have surgery on me. They didn't want to move me. And I just remember during that time that I was stuck in the hospital, I was like, dude, I waited 50 years to have a kid. I
Yeah.
finally have a kid. He's 3 months old, and I have a heart attack on stage. Like, what lesson is God trying to teach me? Like, what? I'm a good dude. Like, how
Yeah.
did this
Yeah.
happen to me? And during that time, I just kept listening to inspiring and motivational videos. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, who
Mm.
is the founder of the Agape International Spiritual Center, one of my like emotional and spiritual guides. I listening to his videos over and over. I'm listening to any Tony Robbins, any positive thing I can get my mind on. And it got to the point where the nurses at the hospital started arguing over who would come and take my vitals because every 2 hours. She's like, "You had him last time. I'm going to go get him this time," because they loved being around my positive energy.
Right.
And I just had to. I knew I had to maintain a positive. This picture was taken the day before my heart attack. I was taken
Oh.
in December of 2021, or yeah, 2020, and then I had my heart attack. And I literally showed this picture to every nurse. And the whole point I'm trying to make is that I forced myself to not
Mm.
let the negative self-talk kick my own butt. And I had to,
Mm.
program my brain. Les Brown says, if you don't program your life, life will program you. So I had to program myself to just stay positive. And long story short, I had triple bypass open heart surgery in
Wow.
February of 2021. And here we are 4 years later. I'm healthier than I've been in a long time. And my son just turned 4 years old.
Amen. Amen to that. Wow. That is so incredible. Such a powerful message and story because, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Is so cute. Oh my
Joaquin.
goodness.
Joaquin is 4, and I'm
Joaquin.
happy and healthy. And then I get to meet people like you.
Yeah. So, wow. I mean, and it's just going to continue on. You're just going to, you're thriving, obviously. So, and there's no medical complications for you.
I still just, I mean, I have to take 6 pills every night and 8 pills every morning before I start my day, just to
Yeah.
manage. I found out that I had diabetes. I found out that I had
Mm,
coronary heart disease. My cholesterol was high. All this stuff. And what I realized in that moment, and this is a powerful message for everybody who's listening, is that my life was about giving and service, and it was about taking care of everyone else, and inspiring everyone else. But I wasn't taking care of myself.
hmm.
And that is so common amongst educators, amongst people that want to be inspiring others. We often get caught up in, trying to be of service, and we forget to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think the message that God was trying to get me to start sharing with people is that as much as we want to make a difference for the world, the most powerful gift we can give the world is to be happy, to
Mm,
be someone who is genuinely, truly happy. If you are a happy, genuinely happy person, that energy permeates into the world. And that is the greatest gift we can give the world, is our own happiness and our own success.
you're
There's a lot of teachers out there that are all about their students and all about making an impact and all about making a difference, but they're broke and they're lonely and they don't take care of themselves. They're out of
yeah.
shape. And I was one of those guys that was out of shape. I'd go to like Virginia Tech and I'd inspire all these college students, and then they'd want to hang out with me. I'm like, come on, guys, let's go eat. And I'd buy pizza and chicken wings for all these college students. And then 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm laying in bed going, oh my God,
Uh,
too much pizza, too much chicken wings, right? And I'm like, dude, this is, there's something missing here. Like, I'm
right.
inspiring kids, but I'm not taking care of myself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's if you don't take care of your vessel, as you know, what happened with to you on stage can happen, right? And I feel like in our community, the Latino community, we're such givers. We give, 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 give. We take care of our kids, we take care of our parents. And you and I are in that generation where it's you take care of your elders and you're taking care of kids. So you're like squeezed in. So what I teach in my programs is like, amigas, be selfish with you
Yeah,
because this is your temple. And if you don't protect this, how can you pour over to other human beings?
exactly. Exactly. And it's so funny because my mom is currently in an assisted living facility and she's not doing well. Her health is diminishing. And so, oh, sorry, hold on, I accidentally answered the phone. Um, and my mom's health is deteriorating. She has
Yeah.
Parkinson's. She can't even feed herself anymore. And then I had this like spot on my eye or something. And
Yeah.
my mom was like, "Mijo, you need to put cream on your face. What's wrong with your face? You gotta fix your face, mijo." And I'm like, Mom, you can barely feed yourself. You're not able, and it's just, I mean, of course it's a motherly thing,
Yeah.
but it's just a small little microcosm for how much we want to take care of everyone else and have our perspective be on everyone else, but we forget about ourselves. I have to share this right now because it just popped
Yes,
into my head. I
please.
took one of the reasons I fell in love with my wife. I took a life altering relationship seminar because I had
Mm,
been single for years. And I couldn't find la otra mitad de la naranja, the other half
yeah,
of the orange.
right.
And the seminar leader said, when we look for partners, when we look for mates, we're always looking outside ourselves and looking at that person saying, do I like them? Do they fulfill my list of what I require in a mate? Do they do this? Are they good looking? Are they educated? Whatever. She says, if we're always looking out there at them, we're going to continue to have the wrong perspective. We shouldn't be asking, do I like them over there? The question we should be asking ourselves is, do I like me?
Mm,
I'm with them. Do they bring out the best in me? Do I get to be the best version of myself when I'm around that person? And when I met my wife, I shared a bunch of things with her online and on the phone about who I was. And she was like, oh my God, oh my goodness. And I felt like Superman around my wife before I even met her. And then
Yeah.
when I met her, it was like, oh my G. So that's when I got it's when we love ourselves and we love who we get to be, we vibe our tribe and we attract people into our lives that are trying to keep and maintain that high level of vibration. Man, that was deep, girl. Wow.
That's right.
Where did
Tell
that
it.
come from?
Tell the truth. Well, that's like, deep inspiration from the divinity just bringing it, and I love what you're saying because it's true. I do I like me? And if I like me, that's the attraction that I'm going to bring people who are going to like me because I like me, right?
Exactly.
Congratulations on your marriage and and
Thank
and your
you.
baby who's thriving. And oh my God, I love this. I love what we're doing here. And I know that you and I are gonna meet up very soon because I know we're both attending the BABC, but you're gonna be the keynote speaker there and do all the things. So, my friend, before we get into your tips, I would like to know, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you'd like to share with us today?
Yeah, I know there's a lot of women watching who probably have not found La Otra Mitad de la Naranja.
Yeah.
And I just would love to share that quick little story is that I had been single for years and everyone was always trying to set me up on dates. Ernie, you're such a catch. And I used to say on stage, I've never been married. I don't have any kids. I'm college educated. I'm pursuing my dream. I have a heart of gold. Basically, I'm a catch. And the problem is, I'm looking for a beautiful, powerful, educated Latina who has a little ghetto in her. Okay,
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
the kind of girl I could sneak food with into a movie theater. I want the kind of girl who gets turned on with a coupon, right? Anyways, long story short, I hadn't attracted la otra mitad de la
Yeah.
naranja, and during the pandemic, I was teaching mental health to high school and college kids, and one of my students says, "Well, what about you, Mister? How come you're not married?" And I was like, what? She said, you should be married, mister. You'd make an awesome dad. I was like,
Oh,
I teach this stuff. I don't apply it to my life,
yeah.
okay? And she's like, no, mister, if you're going to teach about it, you better be about it. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
Ooh, yeah.
So when that happened, I put it out to the universe and I employed everything that I had been teaching the students. I put it out there. If it is to be, it is up to me. And literally the next day, my future wife texts me from a dating site that we were both on, and she says, "Hola, Ernesto." Oh my God, she speaks Spanish. We met, we fell in love, and a year later, we had my baby, Joaquin. And I'm here to say that what was keeping her away was me wanting to give, 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 and not really take care of myself. But the
Yeah.
moment I decided I need to take care of myself, I attracted la otra mitad de la naranja, and my
Mm,
wife and I fell in love. And so I know there's a lot of women in their 30s, late 30s, 40s, even some in their 50s that are scared that they're going to end up alone for the rest of their
yeah.
lives. And I'm here to say I was 50 years old when I met my wife, and we fell in love, and we have a family, and I'm 55 years old. And the only problem is when my son graduates high school, I'm going to be pushing 70. So all my
Hey,
friends,
but that's why you have to be healthy and
I know
strong.
exactly. All my friends, all my son's friends are going to be like, "Is that your grandpa?" No, that's my
No.
dad. It's never too late, baby. It's never too late.
It's never too late. Absolutely never too late. So, amigo, why don't you give us your one or two tips on how an amiga can handle her shit?
The way an Amiga can handle her stuff is by recognize the first one is if it is to be, it is up to me.
Mm-hmm.
I've literally had hundreds of thousands of students repeat that, and years later they're doctors or they're lawyers or they're business owners, and then they contact me on Instagram. They go, I don't know if you remember me, but you said if it is to be, it's up to me, and that carried me through grad school and law school and med school, and so if it is to be, it's up to me. But here's I think one of the most powerful things I've ever heard. The only thing that has ever hurt us, we think life hurts us. We think our parents hurt us. We think our ex husbands hurt us. We think men have hurt us. And I heard a Buddhist monk one time say, the only thing that has ever hurt us is the conversation that we continue to have in our heads. That's
Yes.
the only thing that's ever hurt us. And the good news about that is the only thing that will ever heal us are the conversations that we have in our heads.
Mm.
That has ever hurt us is
Yeah.
what we keep telling ourselves over and over and over, that that happened, they did this, that happened, he did that. But the only thing that will ever heal us is what we keep telling ourselves. If it
Yeah.
is to be, it's up to me. I'm beautiful, I'm powerful, I'm capable. It shall be because I say so. Whoa,
Right.
that is
Woo!
so.
Amen. Amen. Woo, mic drop. Literally, mic drop. Oh my God. I love this. It's so true.
Mm.
Yeah, the conversations that you have in your head, so make them positive.
Absolutely. I mean, anybody that has studied any kind of transformation knows that it begins with a declaration. It shall be this way because I say so. And if we're waiting for the circumstances to mold around or change themselves, the circumstances will be the circumstances. But you will miraculously discover that the circumstances do shift when we shift what's going on internally with us. When we see life differently and we decide, you know what, I'm only going to focus on the positive things. I'm only going to focus on the things that bring me joy. Here's another one, a free extra bonus one.
Amen.
If women or men are trying to figure out what to do with their life, I always tell students this all the time. Do that which sets your soul on fire. When you
Yes.
are alive, when your soul feels like it's on fire, that is the universe's way of saying, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is your gift. If a
Yeah.
movie makes you cry, if a song makes you feel inspired, if a book or a friend or a podcast makes you feel like, yes, I can do it, do more of that. Do that which
Yes.
sets your soul on fire.
Oh, I love this because you know what? This podcast sets my soul on fire. And
Yes.
I'm so grateful that I get to interview people like you
Oh,
that have this message to provide to amigas across the globe and amigos because I have a lot of amigos who listen to this podcast and I'm just so eternally grateful that God did show me the way and said your voice is greater than what you think. And
yes.
I'm glad that I heed the call and I'm here talking to you
Mhm.
via Zoom, and it's going to be, this episode's going to be heard across the globe. And I like, come on, I was just a lawyer. Just- oh
Yeah.
my God. Well, thank you so much, Ernie, for being
Uh,
here on Amiga Handle Your Shit because seriously, more people need to know more about you.
Absolutely, thank you. And they can all go visit me at, on my social media handle is Ernie G Haha, Haha, not
Okay.
Jaja. It's not haha, Ernie G Haha.
Haha.
That's
Ernie G, haha. Well, thank you so much, Ernie. And we're going to put all of your details in my show notes so that people can reach out to you.
beautiful, excellent,
Órale.
awesome. Thank
Hasta
you so much.
luego.
If it is
Thank
to
you.
be, it is up to me. Don't ever forget. Yes,
Amen. Thank you so much, Ernie.
thank you.